So we got the routers on and we got the IP addresses and every router. Autonomous System 10 has got OSPF as an IGP protocol. As a result, I can form full mesh, or I may use route reflector. We'll do one thing, let's do route reflector instead of having full mesh. Let me get the consoles for all the devices. All right, so we got the consoles ready. Now let me take you to router 1 and show you. Show IP route OSPF. You can see there are routes to reach the loopbacks of router 2 and router 3. Yep, so we got loopbacks. Is that enough for us? Do we see something which is not really? 24 subnet. From where it is coming? We are not supposed to run 24 OSPF 124 and 35, so let us go to router 2 and fix it. On router 2, interface F0/1, no IP OSPF 1 area 0. That takes care of the 24 network. Likewise, I'll go to router 3. Router interface F0/1, no IP OSPF 1 area 0. That's what I configured. Okay, now let us go back and check R1. Wonderful. So we are now ready to form IBGP, but not full mesh. We'll use route reflector. Let me start from router 1. Router BGP 10, neighbor 22222, remote AS 10, neighbor 22222, update source loopback 0, neighbor 22222, route reflector client. We all know the purpose of this command. Only then, the routes learned from router 3 will be given to router 2, and routes learned from router 2 will be given to router 3. So what we are going to do is configure another neighbor 3.3.3.3, remote AS 10, neighbor 3.3.3.3, update source loopback 0. There is no need for configuring the remote AS client, route reflector client here. Have we covered route reflector earlier? Okay, then you know the reason why. If you do on one side, R3 becomes passive client. Right, now show IP BGP summary. 2 neighbors configured, not established. Let's go to router 2 now. Router BGP 10 neighbor. I have to say next stop self. Right, likewise, I'll go to router 3. Done. What is the next thing we have to do? We need to check from router 1. We need to check. Right, neighbor is established. Good. So what next is we are going to now finish the other EBGP between the other autonomous system. Going to router 2 to form EBGP with router 4. Router BGP 10 neighbor 242404 remote ASS 20. Nothing more. I'm back. So router 2 is okay, router 3 is okay with IBGP, but router 2 and 3 is not fully configured with EBGP. Router 2 is already done, but router 3, router BGP 10, neighbor is going to be 35.35.0.5. Remote AS is going to be 30. Yes, it is. 30. We are not advertising any network here. But on router 1, I wish to advertise 1.1.1.1. 1.1.1.1. Router BGP network. All right. Now router 4. Remote ASS 10. Update source loop 0. And I would like to advertise all right, I'm seeing some mistake. What is the this is not the this is the right IP address of router 2. But it says remote connection attempt failed due to the local address is 4. Maybe on router 2 I made a mistake. Show run section router BGP. I might have put 2.2. Okay, this is correct. .4. Show IP interface brief. .2. Show run section router BGP. Okay, neighbor is to show IP interface brief. Aha. It looks correct. BGP 224 remote connection attempt failed due to session creation failure. Local address is 24004. So what? Turn. No, not necessary. Not necessary. 242404. 242402. Local is 242404. That's right. Okay. Oh, you know, I'm very funny boy. Sorry, I'm funny. I should have not update source command. Why do we need to do update source? Oh, you see the mistake? So I was not focusing proper. I was distracted. So uh, as we were doing in IBGP, I started doing update source. Not necessarily. Okay, now on R5. Oh no, neighbor. Okay, we are expecting now neighborship. Excellent. Show IP BGP summary. Show IP BGP. Now we are learning 111 network from autonomous system 10. And because we use the command network, we see I. We advertised using network command, not redistribution. I wish to show you an example for that redistribution. The redistribution should have question mark. On router 5, what I'm going to do is I'll advertise this network 555. Oh, come on. Router BGP 30, network 5.5.5.5, mask. I'll also advertise a network. No, I'm going to redistribute a network. First, I'll write one static route, just a dummy route. They don't really exist. IP route 55. Null 0. Just one static route I want to show you. Whenever you redistribute, you will get a question mark instead of I. So I have a route in the routing table now. You say show IP route. Only the route present in a routing table can be advertised. That's why I wrote this route. Now I say router BGP 30 network. No, not network. Redistribute connected. Sorry, not redistribute. Redistribute static. Boom. All right. So the method that I used to inject the route is redistribution. Show IP BGP. You can see question mark. Whereas the advertised one will have next up is 0000 because these two network belong to this router, and automatically the weight will be given higher. We have not set any weight for. We did not deal with any attribute so far. This is the default attribute, default weight given for local networks. And you see question mark. Now this is not only shown here, even on router 4. Let's go to router 4. Show IPv. Even on router 4, you will know how this is injected. It is injected using redistribution method, whereas 555 is injected using network advertisement. All right. So let's now move on to router 6. Before that, did I configure show IP BGP summary? Okay, 6 neighbor is not configured, router BGP 30. Neighbor is 56, 6. Remote AS is 40. So router 4, router BGP 30, sorry, 20. Neighbor 48.48.0.8. Remote AS is 50. Done. Router 4 is also configured. Now let us finish router 6 and then we'll go to router 8. On router 6, router BGP 40. Network I wish to advertise is remote AS, sorry, mask. Next is neighbor. Remote AS 30. Neighbor 78.78.0.8, which is router 8. Remote AS is 50. Alright, so router 6 is done. Oh, 68.78, sorry, I have to change. Done. Remote. Now, do I see a neighbor with router 5? Show IP BGP summary. Yeah. With router 5, we already have neighbor and we have learned 4 network. Show IP BGP. These are the networks. Alright, now we are going to router 8. Router BGP 50. Network. Another network. And the neighbors are this remote AS is 40. And we are expecting a neighbor now. Yes, it is. See now. Now show IP BGP summary. We got 2 neighbors and 5 networks from each direction. Show IP BGP. You can see that you got 2 paths to reach every destination, except the local one. Just local one. All other networks can be reached via router 6 as well as via router 4 from router 8. Because of the shortest AS, it decides to go via router 4. How do I know? The elected route will have the greater than symbol. If you check the routing table, show IP BGP, show IP route BGP, you got only router 4 as a gateway to reach router 1111 and 4444. 4 as a gateway because it's just 2 hops. Whereas for router 5, 5 network, it has taken 6 as the path. The reason is just 2 hops. Just 2 hops. Likewise 6666 and 5555. Going back to BGP command, show IP BGP. Yeah, for 6.6.6.6, 3 hops and 1 hop. It will go via 1 hop. It goes via router 6. Likewise 5555 and 55, it goes via router 6 because it's only 2 hops. Yeah, via both the paths you get question mark. Via both the paths you get question mark. Router 6 is also advertising. Router 5 is also advertising to router 3. Router 3 has given to router 2. Router 2 has given to router 4. And router 4 has given to router 8. So you got 2 paths to reach this 5555 and 55. The shortest AS path is going to be considered. Okay. This is the default. This is the default. Now let us go to router 1. Show IP BGP. On router 1, if you see, for 8 network, it goes via router 2 because it is only 2 hop. For 4 network also it goes via router 2. Whereas for 5, it goes via the bottom path, router 3. 55 it goes via bottom path. 8 and 88, it goes via router 2. Router 2 is the exit because the less AS path. Now what next is, I want to check on router 2. Show IP BGP. In router 2, what I see is, for 8888, I see only the path via router 4. Why I am not seeing path via router 3 or 1? Why router 2 has got path only via see on router 8 when I check 1111 I see 2 paths. Please understand, you try answering this question. On 8 when I check 1111 I have 2 paths via 6 and via 4. Likewise, why I am not seeing 2 paths for reaching 8888? Even on router 3 if you check, show IP BGP. For 8888, I have 2 paths, whereas in router 2, I got only 1 path. Why is that? And on router 1 also, I see only 1 path. You want to answer?
Yes, router 1 also has this 1 path.
But router 3 has got both the paths. See, let me show you router 3. Router 3. Router 3 has got both the paths to reach 8888.
So, is it because So R3 and R2, right? For both of them, it's like straightly BGP to the RA. So there's no
No, it says, look at this. Router 3 says for 8888 I'm going via router 2. It's not going via EBGP. So that's not the reason. No. Next hop is already given. Let me check. Show IPBGP summary. Sorry, show run router BGP. You see, I have given next hop self. Likewise, I have also given next hop self on router 2. You see, next hop self is given. So the point that I'm trying to, the question, let me make it more clear. What the question, what I'm asking is, you already understood, but there is another side you need to understand. Even though router 2 is the client, route reflector client, router 2 is supposed to learn the other path, but router 2 is not learning anything. About 8888, it's not, why it is not reflected. I'm just making it more clear with the question. Why router 2 is not receiving any route information via router 3?
So for so let's say the route 8888 comes to R3 from R5.
Yeah, it's already there. Yes.
Once it comes to R3, and then R3 has an IP R1. So route by BGP that is one. So basically, it will comprise the route to R1 and then the other will be generated back to R2.
Yeah, it should do no. It should do no. But you see why we are not seeing anything from router 3? Why we see only from router 2? Don't see only from the BGP perspective, because we are in BGP topic. Sometimes you will think only from BGP perspective. This is something related to basic fundamentals routing. So next step is already given. All right, I'll give you another clue. Like, this is related to something which I already spoke when I was redistributing. When I was redistributing on router 5, I said something. Yeah, there I had a static route. Why did I write a static route there?
So you just want, okay, so you
No, before that. For a route to come in BGP table, what BGP will check? No. Those things are there, but to consider a network, when I say redistribute static, What it does, it checks the static route in the routing table and redistributes it. So only those routes that are there in the routing table can be advertised, correct? Now you think in that perspective and answer this.
So 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 does R3's routing table not have BGP route?
See, R3 has got 8888, but according to R3, going via R5 is not a preferred path. You understand? The reason is more hops. You got my point what I'm saying. So even though it is there in the BGP table, router 3 is not going to install this in the routing table. You see? Show IP route BGP. If it is not installed in the routing table, it cannot be advertised. So though router 3 knows both the path, router 3 is not giving it because router 3 says, for me, it's more hop via router 5. I'm not going to use it, so I'm not going to give it.
So just to confirm, so for this is sort of like for the router has BGP routes for specific things. And obviously any one path is routing table.
Yep.
But when it advertises its routes for another
Mm.
it only advertises the route that it has to advertise.
Exactly. Except OSPF and ISIS, except link state routing protocol. All protocol will only use the best routes from the routing table to advertise.
So, I mean, the OSPF is like they
They don't advertise routing table. They don't advertise before advertising. They don't look into the routing table. They simply advertise the link status, all the link status, and that helps to form a LSDB. On LSDB, the SPF algorithm runs and finds the shortest, best path, install it into the routing table. So, except OSPF and ISIS, all other protocol will advertise, including BGP, will advertise only if the route is an elected route locally.
and so one thing is like so if let's say that router 3 has two paths to that distribution and if one path goes down then it will
Automatically. Yes. So let's now do that one. Let me shut down this neighbor. Yeah. I'll go to router 4 and then I'll say router BGP 20 neighbor 242402. You know who this is? Shut down. So I have shut down. Now if you go and see, router 5 will start using, sorry, router 3 will start using this. Router 3 started using this. Now there is no other go. Router 1 will also now, earlier it was showing 2222, but now it will show you 3333. So the failover is dynamic. Let us bring up the neighbor. I brought the neighbor up, and now again it has to go back to the defaults. Go to router 3, it should go via router 2 now. You see? Gone back to router 2. And router 1 should have 2. Alright? So far we have not done anything related to tuning of attribute. We have seen only the defaults in this topology. In our next class, we will start tuning one by one, like weight, local preference, AS path, MAD, so on.